Hey, greetings everybody, Gleekon here again with another episode of War of Warcraft. Stay a while and listen to this one, The Dark Star. I don't know exactly how many years we've jumped. I want to say 5, 10, 15, somewhere around there. 15 years, so we're now 180 years before the Dark Portal. We last established both Shatrath City on the ruins of Goria, and we moved one of the dead, I want to say it was like Dore, over to like a burial site. And we established a 5th council member of Exar to speak with the dead. And that was a new thing. The draenei hadn't done that, so they made this little place, called it Oshindun. All right, let's find out what the Dark Star does, which that could be the one that had recently died, or it could be the other one that they... Well, that one's hovering above Shadow Moon, so I think this one is going to be the one that appears in Oshindun. As Shatrath City flourished, Velen urged the draenei to avoid settling too far outside the stronghold. He did not want to disturb the orc and ogre civilizations in the region. Within a few years, he changed his mind. As the Rangari explored Draenor, they discovered more and more signs that the crash of the Genadar had caused serious harm to the world. The impact had unleashed a mix of arcane, light, and void energies that were warping the local flora and fauna. Primals and breakers were emerging from their enclaves, fighting openly with whatever creatures they could find. The plant life on Draenor was far more aggressive than on any world Velen and his people had ever visited, and it seemed dangerous to ignore it. Yeah, but that's natural for them. But also, some of this might explain why there are parallels with a little bit of what you see on Argus and Draenor for creatures. Or at least the ones on Draenor, and then later on what they bring with them from... I'm thinking like Tell books and stuff. Velen decided that it was the Draenei's responsibility to fix what they had broken. Groups of artificers, Rangari, and Vindicators established outposts and cities across Draenor, linking them to the world's arcane ley lines. The greatest of these new settlements was the Temple of Karabor. Tucked away at the eastern edge of Shadowmoon Valley, it would soon become one of the Draenei's holiest and most beautiful sites. I'm thinking that's the Broken area, or it might be the one... Either way, it's involved with the Broken questline in what is Hellfire Peninsula. Actually, no. Shadowmoon Valley is Shadowmoon Valley. Okay, I think there's a little Draenei little city out there. Over time, by using arcane and light energies, the Draenei were able to repair the damage done to Draenor. The primals and the breakers quieted within a few decades, and the harm seemed to be contained. This expansion brought the Draenei into contact with other races. Velen made it clear to the Exarchs that he expected his people to avoid conflict with native creatures, but his hopes of keeping the orcs and the ogres free of any ill effects from the Draenei's arrival were quickly dashed. The Shadowmoon orcs had always been sensitive to signs of divine power, and they saw meaning in the movements of celestial bodies. When Kara's remains appeared in the sky, the clan's mystics called the manifestation the Dark Star and worshipped it as a deity. One more way that they've messed up this world. A few bold shaman tried to access Kara's shadowy power. Touching the fallen Naaru's void energies shattered their minds. The Shadow Moon soon decided that the Dark Star's power was not meant to be wielded by mortals. Anyone who tried was sharply rebuked, and if they continued, they would be immediately exiled far from Shadowmoon Valley. Alright, so... we call this the Dark Star, but I think that's almost for lack of a better title. We've already touched on the fact that Kara would remain floating above Shadowmoon Valley. The Temple of Karabor, now that I think about it, is like a little quest hub in Shadowmoon Valley and Burning Crusade. It might possibly be more, I don't remember, in Warlords of Draenor, but there is that quest line involving the Dark Star. I'm pretty sure there's a quest line, and Gul'dan is involved, and it's like one of the chapters in Lore Master. Pretty sure something involving talking to the Dark Star, or the people that try to worship it still, that are dark. So I do think that still continues to play a role. I think in the long run, the repercussions that are going to come out of this are both like productive in terms of what we're trying to get to, and negative in terms of more evil power. So it's productive in the sense that it made them branch out, and that's why you have these draenei little enclaves or quest hubs in Burning Crusade all throughout almost every region. They're pushing everywhere, so they have these little pockets. That explains that. This is only 180 years before the Dark Portal, so there's a reason why they're just about everywhere on the planet. The second thing that I think is going to happen is that's going to lead to more orc warlocks, essentially the Guldans of the world. It's going to start paving the road for that, and again, for Sargeras to come. All right, guys and girls, another episode in the pipes, 5x5, and I'll catch you on the next episode of Lore of Warcraft.